We are live. Sorry for the delay, everyone. Hope everybody's having a good night. We have both my friends Mel Doerr, Aloha Shirt Psychic, and Deann. I think it's going to be a fun collab with the three of us on tonight. Just a little bit.
Hi, Deann. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. I've been excited all day about getting to meet you.
Linda Grindle was just calling me. I told her I'd call her later.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, nice.
Great minds think alike.
All right.
Anyway.
Funny lady.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Deann. We'll do this again.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm so excited to get to read with both of you.
Yes, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Just want to say hello to everybody in the chat, and I got a thank you for the donation, Jay Roberts. I really appreciate that. I don't know about you guys, but last night was a really rough night for me. I got like no sleep whatsoever. I fell asleep for about an hour and then woke up at like 1:30 and was up till after 4. And I was just hearing like plane engines and explosions. And so just energetically today, I'm pretty tired. It was.
I think I know why. I just saw a news flash on the news. I got the volume down, but Russia was shelling a nuclear power plant in Ukraine. That might have been what you were hooked into.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I saw somebody posted that. It must have just happened because yeah, I think it did.
Well, we are psychic, you know.
Yeah. Hey, Sheila. All right. Well, before I get into everybody's questions, I want to make a quick announcement. I'm getting pretty close to 3,000 subscribers. Once I do, I will be giving away two free 30-minute readings. So we are getting close to that. Once I hit that, I'll put it in the community tab and we'll do another drawing. You know, I was getting a big hit with Biden's State of the Union address when he told the Russian oligarchs that he's coming after you.
Yes.
And taking their boats and all that. And I got a big hit that, him allowing the DOJ to investigate these oligarchs is going to reveal so much dark money that's been funneled to the GOP.
Yep.
Trump was doing in his pants.
Yeah.
I'll bet he was.
You know, I said this on Linda's show. I'll say it here too. I had a dream that I saw Putin on his yacht and it was in flames and it was sinking.
Oh, wow.
And there were all of these boats around him and he was yelling for help and everybody was giving him the middle finger and he just went down with his yacht. So, you know, he has seriously underestimated the Ukrainian people. You know, his shelling the nuclear power plant is really stupid because if that radiation dome leaks, you know, he doesn't care.
No, he don't.
But the world is going to be in an uproar. You know, the more stuff he does, the worse it gets. But I had a dream that, like, if he tries to push the button, I don't think he's there. I think there are 3 different people that have to do it, but they won't do it.
Yeah.
And, I think his own generals are going to take him down because I don't think they want to die either.
No, none of them do. The Russian people don't want this. The oligarchs aren't wanting this. Somebody's going to take him down. And
did you see him at that long table?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He wish something else is that long, right? I mean, he's sitting there like
it's probably, what was it, Nub? You guys said
we call them nubs. Yeah, that's
nubs. Yeah.
You were going to get your shirt printed out.
You know what they say about people that have to sit at big tables, right?
They say he's so afraid of COVID that he's a germaphobe or something and having people that far. I think it makes him feel more powerful too. I don't think he's with it. I think he's losing, if not lost.
He really underestimated the Ukrainians. They're fighting back and they will not stop. It's going to be like when the Soviet Union went into Afghanistan and we went into Afghanistan. Big mistake, because it's almost like a guerrilla warfare. And so Purple Elephant said he's paranoid. Somebody will try to poison him. I agree, but I don't think it'll be that easy. He probably has people tasting everything and all of this and all of that.
Yeah, he's super careful. But I do feel when I pick up on his energy that it's extreme paranoia.
Well, somebody said they could poison him in other ways too, like, put it on the toilet seat, on the seat, on a handle of something, or, things like that.
Here's the thing. You forget he's former KGB.
Yeah.
All right. And he thinks like a former KGB agent, like the former Soviets think. But he's planned this for a very long time. And I'm sure that Trump was colluding and all this for entertainment purposes only, you all.
Yeah.
There you go. But I think that, strategically, he thought he was planning it well, but I've heard people say that he's a very poor strategic planner and following through on things. And so there we go. I mean, I don't think this war is going to spill over into other countries, but the Ukrainians are going to really fight hard, and it can go on for a long time.
Those people are amazing. There was one lady, she said, they took over one area, and she said, I want to die angry, not afraid. So, I mean, those people, they are strong. They remind me of kind of, I love Vikings. They remind me of the Viking type. They're strong. They are fighters. They have just amazed the world, I think.
And, I feel bad for the Russian people, too, because they don't want this.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, everybody give Kevin a thumbs up.
Thumbs up, everyone, please, and thank you.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And Deann, you have your own channel too, right?
I do. It's Deann Shield Maiden Tarot. And I do just political readings. I do mystery readings, and I do personal readings.
What is a mystery reading?
Mysteries. I love mysteries. And I started watching a couple years ago, Scott Allen and Andrea. They do mystery or tarot. And I've been watching them a long time. Well, I love mysteries. So I find different mysteries, like maybe Marilyn Monroe, something about, aliens, whatever mystery strikes my fancy. And I read about it, tell the people about it, then I read the cards about it and do the pendulum about it and try to solve the mystery together. I'm going to be on a show next week with Kathleen. I think her name is Kathleen J. Lightworker, and we're going to do a mystery together. So it's just for fun.
Let me know. I'll do one with you.
Will you? Okay.
So everybody subscribe to Deann's YouTube channel, Kevin's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And when I
get to Deann's link in the comments.
Oh, thank you, Kevin.
And when I get to 15,000, I'll give away 3 free half-hour sessions. That's hard to say. I pulled a card and asked Putin. Now, I my nom de guerre is not tarot, but I do it. But just for this fun, I pulled a card and asked what's going on with Putin. And I pulled the 7 of Cups.
Confusion, delusion. Yeah.
Way.
Perfect.
And let's pull another one and see what the outcome is going to be, shall we? Okay, Spirit Guide, what is Putin's outcome? Look, 3 of Cups. I see celebration in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what? With that too, I'm kind of picking up. It's normally a card about friendship, so I'm wondering if he should watch those around him that he's close with.
I agree. I totally agree. And look what came up next, the Hierophant. That's him. Or the Emperor. I'm sorry.
Emperor, yeah.
I had a friend who's from Ukraine and a Russian friend, their husband and wife, and I talked to them the other day, and they were saying, imagine waking up in Russia and you go to the bank. If you can get your money out, you can't. But let's say you had $1,000 and now you only got 500 or a lot less. So these sanctions are really starting to hurt as well.
Well, you were asking about, you pulled a card on that. I got the 5 of Swords in reverse, which is telling me there is going to be a peaceful resolution to this. There is going to be some major sacrifices, but the conflict is going to end. They're going to be able to somehow compromise and communicate on this, and they're going to have temperance, and there will be peace.
Nice.
I asked for the final outcome for Putin, and look what I pulled.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
It looks like a coffin too.
It is. That's
I got Putin having to walk away in shame. You see with the 8 of Cups, he has his back turned, but the energy crossing him is it's a 9 of Swords reverse, and in this deck, it's kind of extreme paranoia. It's nightmares, anguish. He's not in a good headspace. It's not clear. And then I see him at a crossroads. For this, it looks like defeat for me.
Could that last card also mean he's bat poop crazy?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's not in his right mind.
I didn't want to say the other word. I said bat poop, because we don't want to go to we do not want to go to YouTube jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you asked about Putin too, I got the King of Pentacles in reverse, so he's going to lose. They're losing a lot of money. Russia's losing a whole lot of money, and he's going to be financially unsuccessful with this. It talks about him being corrupt and using poor judgment, going possibly broke. Yeah, it's not, and it talks about being uncaring, but definitely losing money.
Let's see, George McKenna. I read that the Russian billionaires have lost $83 billion so far. Plus at least 2 yachts seized, one in Germany and one in France. Yeah, and more. They're going to end up seizing a lot more. And Kevin, I agree with you. With the DOJ looking into this, a lot's going to come out about dark money. And how much you want to bet Donald Trump is chewing his nails? He's so
you could see the Republicans at the state of
I saw that.
State of the Union. It looked like McConnell put a big load in his diaper.
He looked constipated, didn't he?
He looks like he swallowed a horned toad.
I know, he did. I kept looking at him like, what? Get the camera off of him. Get the camera off of him.
See, he was seething.
He was steam coming out of his ears.
Could you imagine? I'm so mad because I'm not speaker and I'm sitting here now. I should be not speaker. I should be the Senate Majority Leader.
You knew his voice good. Yeah, man, they were so pissed. I was sitting in my bed with my husband watching it, and we're going, yes. I was so proud of him.
I think the thing that's going to unify the world too is the other night I was watching TV and there was this little child. It was an emergency room, and they said this might be disturbing. The child died, and you could see the parents crying, and I was so mad. I thought, this is genocide.
Yes.
And I texted a friend of mine who's from Ukraine, and I said, if I were younger, I'd go there and fight. And he texted back, can you drive a tank? I said, no, but I'm a good shot.
Did you see they asked President, I shouldn't say, not President, X-45 Orange Man, they asked him if we went to war, would he be as brave as Zelensky? Would he go and fight? No. He was like sweating bullets at that question. Well, we never know what we're going to do till it happens. And it's like, we know what you'd do.
Captain Bone Spurs would not be doing anything.
Hide in your bunker.
Yes.
I asked, I pulled a card for 45.
Yeah.
Always get that for him. Always. Him and Putin. Like that.
Well, there's a chain connection between the two of them.
Those sociopaths.
That's why Cheeto Head was so against NATO and he thought about pulling out. Well, we've done so much for them. I can't do his imitation, but let's we're giving them money and blah blah blah. Don't you think that he and Putin wanted Trump to pull away from NATO because Putin didn't want NATO in Ukraine, because if NATO was in Ukraine, then if Putin invaded, he'd have all NATO against him, which he does already.
And then he says he's a genius. Putin's a genius. Him and Tucker Carlson, Effer Carlson.
Oh, you mean Kremlin Carlson?
Kremlin Carlson, yeah. They're traitors as far as I'm concerned. And then they go back and backpedal. Oh, I never said that. It's like, it's on tape. We all heard you. Quit. I don't know how they do that. Say something and then backpedal and say they never said it when it's on tape.
I bought a T-shirt with Putin's picture and it says Puck Putin.
I need that T-shirt.
You don't get in trouble for that.
That's right. I need that T-shirt to wear.
Back to the State of Union. How about when how do you pronounce the name? Boebert or
Boebert? Yeah.
How
screamed that out. And she got booed. And Marjorie Taylor Greene was sitting right there, and Biden just kept going. I mean,
no class.
I think this is gonna increase his popularity. I really do.
I think so too. Did you hear about MTG speaking at a white supremacist rally? and they were just all cheering Putin. And then she went up there and then later says, well, I just don't know. I just don't know who he is or where I was or.
No, it's so delusional.
Oh, and you know what's going to happen? That when the DOJ starts investigating this dark money, I'm telling you, it's going to come out that there was money being funneled to Trump to help. The Mueller report's not over, okay? No. And it's going to come out that this dark money kind of that they used for misinformation against Hillary and all of that to help Trump win the election. You'll see. And the funny thing about Trump is when he starts blaming everybody for other things, then we know he's guilty of doing it.
Always, always. He's a gaslighter. He's a world-class gaslighter.
But he always tells on himself.
He does. But he still has people listen to him and believe him. I don't get it. I don't get it. Never will get it.
I think I said on your channel, Mel, that I saw another hacking financial documents that was going to get a lot of the Republicans in trouble. But I think what I was picking up intuitively is it's these DOJ investigations and all the dark ties. And it's not just, the Republicans in the U.S. Putin's been trying to destabilize democracies all across the world, with Boris Johnson. And I think a lot of that information is going to be a lot of those chaotic people that he helped get in.
And that's another one that'll be gone is BJ, Boris Johnson, Mr. Wild Hair.
Did you hear, I heard on the news just before we came on, I was listening and they were talking about the January 6th has said under oath, they have people under oath that said that they have federal crimes with him and his lawyer. And they testify under oath. So he's going to have to go testify for that. I don't know.
Well, intuitively, I kept saying there's going to be indictments coming out against him as a result of that. And, New York is still, I don't like this new prosecutor, whoever, but still, I see him indictments coming down in New York. Yep. That's not over either.
I agree.
See May or June, there are going to be a lot of stuff coming out that, hopefully will be enough that will change the people that still stick by him. They'll realize.
I disagree with you on that one. Trump's base is Trump's base.
I know. I said hopefully. I was hoping maybe there'd be some, but by this time, I guess.
There might be some regular Republicans that like Trump, but the crazy ones,
they're not going to change. No.
The crazy fascists will stay with him.
Yes.
But this is a minority. And, this under Trump was really like an American apartheid. It's this minority telling the rest of us what to do. And, I just don't get, well, I get it, but I don't get it, is, these supposedly born again Christians who are so pro-Trump and pro-Putin. I'm like, wait a minute, but yet they're standing up preaching God and country. And I'm like, whoa.
I know. What got to me? I was watching, I don't know why, she happened to come on, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She came on and she had behind her, she had a cross. And instead of Jesus on the cross, she had Trump on the cross with a MAGA hat. I about died. I'm like, that is the most sacrilegious thing I've ever seen. And then the golden idol of him, I says, you would think that alone would upset them.
Mm-hmm. I like when he held the Bible upside down. That was a classic.
Gosh, yes.
I think, probably the reason the religious right, ultra right likes him is because to them, they call themselves born again. If that's born again, I don't want any part of it. I don't have to be born again because my mama did it right the first time. Thank you. But if, hating people and being a white supremacist and not liking people because they're LGBTQ, because they're Muslim, because they're Hindu. If that's Christianity, that's not what Christ talked about.
And
Christ
it's not. That is
love and all of that. Mm-hmm. So how can they call themselves Christians? The only reason they're for Trump is because he played up to them. He doesn't care about them. He doesn't care about anything except himself. And they're going to have a sad awakening.
They are. Yeah. They are.
I'll get off my rant now.
I could get on a box right up there next to you. You guys, last time you guys were talking, I was sitting there watching you and Kevin. I'm like, yeah. I wanted to get into that talk so bad because I'm right there with you now.
Well, these people are so delusional and brainwashed. I mean, a lot of them seriously believe that, Trump was like the second coming of Jesus.
Oh
Well,
Lord, that's
people,
unbelievable.
people thought that about Hitler too.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But the thing is that, you know, I don't see him as a second coming because that's
No.
right. You know, they just want somebody to promote their racist, fascist ideology.
Yes.
And that's very few people. But the majority of us aren't that way. And he wanted to polarize the country. Trump wanted anarchy because then he could say, I can fix it. But that came from a Putin playbook,
Yep.
which they got out of a playbook, Mein Kampf, from the whole Hitler thing.
Yep.
So it really fried me when Poopkin, I call him Poopkin, when he said he was going to denazify Ukraine. Well, denazify.
I know.
That was 80 years ago. The president of Ukraine is Jewish,
Yes.
lost people in the Holocaust. So what's there to denazify?
You know what it is? I think it's just the propaganda to dehumanize them. So his countrymen will think of them just like Trump, what he did at the border.
Right.
You know, he tried to dehumanize them, saying, well, they're rapists, they're murderers, they're drug dealers. I have a lot of Hispanic friends and they're wonderful people. And but he was trying to dehumanize them to his group.
I asked for a card about Trump. Look what came up.
No, nice.
Justice.
Oh, didn't see that first. At first, I thought it was the King of Wands. I thought,
No, it's justice.
Okay.
Speaks for itself.
I got my little phone, so I was like,
I've always felt springtime being really hard for Trump and even the Republicans. I've personally never seen Trump in jail, but I don't think his life force is. There's too much more to him on that, and I think he'll use his mental decline as an excuse to get out of any
That's
jail.
what I keep getting. I keep getting that he is going to use his mental decline, you know, but he did so well on his cognitive test, telling the difference between a horse and a giraffe. He was so proud of that, you know.
Well, he'll get out of it because he's got bone spurs.
Yeah.
I got this for Trump. You were asking, you pulled a card on him. I did too. every time almost for him or Pootie.
Well, Kevin, you called it too when a lot of us were thinking, will he invade, will he not? When you were on my show the first time, I said, will Poopkin invade? And you said, yes, absolutely. Yes.
I felt he would. And then I felt him holding back a little bit. And then a couple of days before he did invade, I felt the energy was changing for him.
Right.
You know, I think honestly, Putin probably would have invaded sooner when Trump was president if it wasn't for COVID.
I think Putin thought Trump would get reelected.
I think he did too.
And then
they didn't expect that many people to come out and vote.
That's right. And they better get out and vote this time.
You better believe it. If I have to crawl, I'm going to go vote. I never realized how important it was until we got that man in office and realized I don't ever want that to happen again.
Deann, what state are you in?
Illinois.
Oh, where?
You know where Peoria is?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in East Peoria. I'm like right by that. So I'm not too far from you. Probably a few hours maybe?
Yeah, I used to do consulting down there years ago.
Oh, did you?
You should move to Chicago.
It's too expensive.
It's not that bad.
But I have been to Chicago a couple times, and it was just so different than Peoria for sure.
It's a huge difference.
I asked somebody, I go, where should I go eat? I asked somebody's opinion. They go, well, what kind of food do you want? I go, what do you mean? They're like, oh, we have Italian, we have this. I mean, they have every kind of cuisine you can think of there.
Yeah, I got Greek tonight, so.
So nice. Jealous. I had a hamburger.
I haven't eaten.
Not a bun.
Yeah, I haven't eaten yet. I got some ribs from the store and some twice baked potatoes.
Yum. Anyway, do we have questions, Kevin?
Yes, I was going to say I have quite a few questions here.
I'm ready.
Well, since I wasn't catching the news and since it was just kind of reported, somebody asked about the CNN just reported a nuclear power plant's on fire in Ukraine. How serious is the damage.
Well, here's the thing. I think it's probably serious damage.
I'm
Okay.
feeling
And if there's a leak, and there probably will be because that dome, it's got a dome over it, I think. But Putin, he's trying to poison everybody. But here's what he doesn't get. It's going to poison his troops too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just hope. I know I don't want the cloud to go to Russia because I don't want people to die. But I wish the cloud would just hover over Putin for a while.
Right.
He's trying to use this nuclear threat as a tool to scare people. But my guides keep showing me if he threatens to push the button, that he will be stopped.
Yeah, I felt that as well.
Nobody wants that. That'd be the end. They push theirs. Everybody, it's just.
I think me having such a hard time sleeping last night and hearing explosions, I think is probably, I felt that Putin was going to escalate, his attack.
Here, I'm just seeing it on TV. It says that the Russian troops are shelling Europe's largest nuclear power plant. And he's doing that because if the power plant gives power, and if he can do that, it'll cut off the power grid. But he's cutting it off for himself too and his troops.
Yeah.
Wasn't he planning on bombing a dam too to try to flood?
I heard that, yeah.
But I see a lot of foreign aid coming, and I see a lot of troops lining up at the border. And, Putin said that if anybody did anything against Russia, that it would be consequences beyond their wildest imagination. In other words, nuclear. But I don't think they're afraid of them. At least they won't be.
No. I did pendulum, and it's agreeing with you 100%, swinging hard, everything you said.
That's right.
I got the hermit above, which is, you can see he's in the dark with the lantern. I think that you were kind of right on the head with their motives on.
I asked what the Ukrainians would do, and look, they're going to fight.
Yeah.
So, good. All right.
I have a couple more.
Hi, Jane. Are we open to chat or not?
On StreamYard, you can't do chat through here. Now, like I have my phone with the chat on.
Oh, I got you. I got it.
Yeah, I can type in the chat, but for some reason guests can't. So I normally have it open on like my phone to type if I'm on somebody else's channel. Mama Bear asked, will Anonymous release their files that they hacked from Russia? And I feel it's
yes. There's going to be so much coming out.
Yes. Pendulum says yes.
I pulled the Ace of Swords on that one.
Yeah, I feel that will definitely be. And I think they're hacking their media outlets to get real news out to the Russian people.
Well, the Russians, in Russia, Putin has closed. The stations have to report what he wants them to report. They can't say war. They can't say invasion.
Yeah.
They bombed one of the stations in Ukraine. But what he doesn't understand is that there's a such thing as cameras, and they have film. They can record it and then upload it somewhere.
Yeah.
So. And I'm also I kept seeing radio waves. I'll draw a picture and I'll show you what it looks like the old RKO radio symbol. You guys are probably too young to remember that, but it kind of looks like this, if you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that maybe from Poland, Czech Republic, or somewhere that they're going to start like a Radio Free Europe again. And broadcasting to the people in Russia and to Ukraine on radio so they can get it. So I see that taking place.
What
are you picking up, Deann?
I got the Page of Cups there. That it's going to be some sort of some happy news, some messages. It's a surprise that's coming in. And what was the other question they hacked? And 3 of Wands. So, it looks like they're going to look forward and planning with that. I got the pendulum. Yeah, it is definitely, yes, they are going to get those files. They're working. There's going to be some working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Earth Mama saw the same symbol. Hey, we're on the same page, Earth Mama.
You're on the same radio wave.
We're on the same wavelength. Of course, I don't know what station I'm on today.
All right. It looks like some good news with that.
Deanna, I asked for something for you while you're shuffling, and the High Priestess came up.
Aw, I like that one.
So it looks like your channel's going to grow really well, and I see a lot more readings coming, and yay.
I'm excited. I've only had the channel for a couple months, and I think I got like 796 people, which is amazing, to me.
It'll get busy after this.
Well, I'm loving it.
There's a lot more collabs in the works too.
I do.
I couldn't hear you.
There's a lot more collabs in the works too. You have one with Danny Shea, don't you?
Tomorrow I'm going to be on with Scott Allen, and the next day I'm going to be on with Strawberry Rhubarb, then Kathleen J. Lightworker, then Danny Shea. I already got to be on with Sheila and Lena.
Tell
Sheila
Danny I said hi.
Huh?
Tell Danny I said hi.
I love him. I just love him. He's so sweet. I'm so excited to meet him too. He's a lovable guy.
Oh,
yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah, I saw that.
Sherry H. Yay. Voices from the Swamp. I like that.
What's it say?
Elon Musk said he was repositioning his satellites to make sure Ukraine and Russia don't lose internet. I am sure, Sherry, I just got a flash that he's going to send more rockets up. Yay. Good. Which means more satellites.
Yeah.
Good.
Maybe that's why he's trying to affect their power, though.
He is. When big businesses go against Putin, that's going to be bad too. His own people are going to turn against him. They already are. And I think a lot of I understand in Chechnya, those troops that were supposed to be for Putin are turning the other way. And I think a lot of the Russian troops they thought they were just going to go in there on some kind of a drill. They didn't know. And that's going to change too. I think a lot of his troops will turn against him.
Did you hear about the Ukrainian people? They had people taking the street signs and road signs down so that they would get lost.
Yep.
And that their GPSs were breaking down. They're running out of gas. They're running out of food.
And they're not going to get any more of that.
No.
They're not going to get there. It's going to be hard for them to get fuel and all of that stuff. So all Putin can do is depend on shelling and all of that, but he's not going to be able to move his troops.
No.
Well,
you're already seeing it.
Right. I think they're paying people to give up, to surrender. And they'll give them a place to go where they're safe. I think that was something Zelensky, I heard, was doing too, and that it was very successful. There's a lot of them that are giving themselves up.
Who, the Russians? The
Russians. They don't want to be there. They thought it was a peacekeeping mission. A lot of them didn't know that this was going to happen. And they just stuck.
Well, it's becoming genocide.
It is.
And that's really bad.
When you're bombing a kindergarten and an orphanage, and these are people without weapons, a lot of them. It's just, like you said, it's genocide.
And it incenses the world even more.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, oh, I grew up during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and I remember in school we would have nuclear disaster drills, and the sirens would go off, and we'd have to go in the hallway and duck. And on TV was black and white in those days. I'm telling on myself from my age, but there were these commercials that would say, "If you see a flash, duck and cover." Yeah, like we're really going to survive that,
right?
But I remember refusing to go out in the hallway, and they called my dad and they said, "Your son won't go out in the hallway for the nuclear disaster drills." And my father asked me why. I said, "Because Dad, if they drop bombs, we're going to die. It doesn't matter." And he said, "You're right, son." So I remember at the crux of that, it was really frightening. I mean, and I remember they let us out of school early that day. And my father came to pick up my sister and I. My sister and I went to the same grade school, and he had the car loaded, and my mom was with him. And I said, "Dad, where are we going?" He said, "We're going to your aunt's house in the country." And I said, "Why?" He said, because if they drop bombs, it'll be in the cities. They won't drop them on the countryside. And they didn't have intercontinental ballistic missiles back then. And
Right.
we stayed with my aunt until that whole thing blew over. And I can remember as a child, I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade, having that fear of nuclear annihilation.
That's terrible.
Well, and it's
That
back,
age.
and it's back again, you know.
My husband remembers that too. He's about 13 years older than me, and he talks about that too, when they had to hide under their desks, and I thought the Russians were going to
it was
bomb.
like scary. And then what happened was, in those days, here's another thing that just brought a memory back. Everybody was putting in fallout shelters in their basements, and they would like a zigzag pattern. And supposedly, it was to break the radiation. Well, it might have stopped the fallout, but guess what? It ain't bomb proof. Not nuclear.
Well, where I live is Caterpillar. Caterpillar's near here, and so they make a lot of the tractors and the different things like that, the tanks and things. So I wonder if we would be kind of a target because of that, Illinois.
Probably Chicago will be a target, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Caterpillar would be. It just brings back all those memories, and I remember in school learning about strontium 90. It was radioactive and it resembles calcium, and it would get in, your body would think it's calcium and it would absorb it. And oh my goodness, it was just, and then all the horror movies that come out, like After the H Bomb and all these giant ants and all.
Oh yeah, I remember those movies.
Yeah. It's kind of funny if you watch movies now, pretty soon you'll start to see, a lot of things coming out about the zeitgeist, the spirit of the time now. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I
mutants
remember
from
those.
space or mutants from whatever. You'll see.
60-foot woman, wasn't there?
Yeah. Oh, I remember that one. Yeah. The giant ants or the killer leeches.
I love those movies, actually.
So did I. We had an old TV set. You only got 2 channels, and half the time you couldn't those, and
We had 3. Yep.
You'd be like, "Oh my God, look at that!" Shock theater, and it was like, "Oh my God."
Ours was Acre Creature Feature. I couldn't wait to stay up and watch that. Oh,
I
have a question?
I hope peace is coming soon, but I don't feel nuclear war.
No.
We talked about that. I feel it'll be stopped before it got to that.
Oh, I just saw something. The 1/6 panel are saying Trump and allies are part of criminal conspiracy. Good. So there's going to be more coming out of the January 6th Commission as well.
Yeah, I've been feeling that March. I feel a lot's coming out.
A lot is coming out.
I'm on keto, but I'm about ready to get me some popcorn this spring.
There you go.
I think Rose has asked, why is Poots in Boots blowing up Ukraine if he wants to take it over, taking over a torn up city and nobody can live there because he's destroyed it? He wants to bring back the old Soviet Union, and he's also really interested in the minerals and resources.
And plus, it doesn't matter to him if he destroys it. Okay. His thinking is at least he'll take it over and he can go in and rebuild it. It doesn't matter to him if no one can live there, because he doesn't look at the Ukrainians as people.
No.
Hitler didn't see anybody as people but the Germans, and it didn't matter how many people they killed. And it's the same with Putin. Poopkin.
Mimi Rose, we already kind of talked about that. I think you just came on.
That's a good question, though, Sterling Roses. That was a very good question.
Yeah, trade routes too.
I'm sorry?
Valeria says he's interested in trade routes too. Yeah, I think
right. But this war, if he will not. I don't think he'll pull back. I mean, I don't think he'll surrender. I don't think Putin. I don't know how he's going to do it, but he'll never admit defeat. But if he doesn't, it's going to go on and on and on. And it's going to drain the Russian economy, because these sanctions are going to get worse.
Well, I don't know what one of the rubles is worth anyway, but I hear that it's less than a penny now.
Less now.
Less now?
Than a penny, yeah.
A lot of people are nervous that China might funnel money to Russia, but I think if our intelligence found out about that, we would sanction China heavily as well. So
I'm not feeling that, but I do think China does play both sides of the fence. I think that they're very strategic, and they're watching to see what's going to happen before they take a side.
Well, I've got friends from the Czech Republic, and they're nervous because they're thinking if he can take Ukraine, then he can go into Slovakia and go in and take the Czech Republic. But those countries, I think they're NATO and they're part of the European Union, and the EU will. Well, I know the European Union is not for defense, but they will band together.
Mm-hmm.
They already are.
Well, if Putin takes Russian troops into a NATO country, it's on.
Well, I mean, Biden's already sending troops to Europe. I think he's got 100,000, or he's going to build it up.
They're prepared if they try to go over into NATO.
Poland is building up troops. I mean, all those countries are, and they will fight. They're not going to give up. Anyway,
I don't see him able to. I don't think he's going to go in any NATO countries. I think that would be. It would turn into World War III, and I don't feel that happening.
Yeah, I don't either. Going to leave a sour taste in their mouth. It's layered why he's doing it. There's many reasons. The problem will be solved. It's going to go left. It's not going to work out. And he's linked to a lot of other people. It's going to come out with that too. But yeah, it's going to fall. It's not going to work. It's not going to. Sorry about my weird little cards. Those are Andrea's cards.
I asked what he was thinking. I got to show you. I came up with the Hanged Man. He's seeing things backwards, upside down, not a vision. So,
well, that's a card of suspense too, and being delayed.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Kevin.
That's a card of suspense and being delayed as well. So.
Correct.
Yeah, I got the delay card too. The wands.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of fast movement, I got delayed. I didn't put that one up or show you, but yeah, so it is going to be delayed too. It's not going to happen.
Kevin, you have more questions?
Yes, I do. Butterflies are free asks, court filings, Trump's and campaign members engaged in conspiracy to defraud the United States. Are we going to finally get justice?
Well, I think when a couple of his campaign members are faced with jail time, they're going to try to wait till after the midterms. They're going to keep delaying it. The repubes, and some of them will, because they're thinking they can take back over the House. And if they do, the January 6th committee is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's finally going to get justice for some people, but not Trump won't go to jail. But he has his consequences coming.
Yeah.
But I think what's going to happen is when those people are threatened with jail and all of that, they will flip, and they're going to flip on Trump. So I see those campaign members coming forward and talking about how Trump colluded with Russia during that campaign in 2016, and a lot more stuff is going to come out. And so a lot of those campaign members are going to go to jail as well. So.
Well, and I think too. Sorry, Mel, if you weren't finished.
So we will have justice, yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
I feel there's already people in secret that have from his campaign that have given a lot of information already.
I got there is going to be some whistleblowers that are going to come out. We're going to have some court cases. They're upside down. They're going to go bad. These people are going to be stuck. They're not going to be able to go anywhere. They're going to find out who's linked together with who. And yes, we are going to have some justice on that. They're going to find out about the money and what King Orange did with that. And he's a little bit chicken right now and worried about it.
He's a big chicken.
The truth is going to come out.
Yes. What are those cards?
These are Andrea's. They're called Lilac Intuition deck.
Okay,
and you use your intuition to read them rather than so I just grab whichever one moves me.
That's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm, they are kind of fun.
I pulled one and look, the five of Pentacles out in the cold. That's true.
That's
what I feel for Trump too. I feel like the thing that would really hurt Trump the most and hurt his ego is if he lost all of his money. That over jail. And I'm telling you, I feel I feel all of his assets being seized.
Well, that's going to happen to Trump. He's going to lose a lot of his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Putin's going to lose a lot of his money too.
Yep. I don't think there'll be any more Trump towers. I think they're going to have other people buy that because nobody wants to stay there. There's not going to be many people want to stay there, and he's going to probably not be able to afford to keep them up with all his legal bills.
And what is that? Trump that Devin Nunes went to work for Trump on his new
Truth Network, Truth Social.
Well,
that's not lasting long.
That Truth Network will last about as long as a snowball in Hades. All right. And I mean, it's already under investigation.
Yeah, I was going to say, I definitely called investigations, and I feel them getting shut down. I don't think they're going to be running too long.
Trump,
interesting.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to go into the next question, but if you had something to add.
I was just going to say Trump is playing Nunes like a fiddle, and he'll throw Nunes under a bus. You watch when that organization comes down. He's using Nunes as a patsy, and he's going to blame it all on Nunes. You watch.
And this is just a rough guesstimate. I got a pendulum mat here, maybe 5-6 months. Then it's gonna.
And then I asked about Trump's empire in general, and I pulled a 6. It's not a 6 of spades, but it would mean a lot of things coming out that'll be very disagreeable. It's a 6 of clubs. I'm sorry, that will be very disagreeable to Donald Trump. Yay! See, there's the 6 of clubs.
Oh, I like how that's like based off like a card deck.
These are hard to read.
Mm-hmm.
But lightning means like turmoil, a lot of stuff coming to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Surprises coming up and out, all of that stuff. So,
Earth Mama asked a good question, and I want to kind of throw some cards on this because I felt Abbott is out, but I haven't felt Beto as governor, but they both won their primaries in Texas. So do we want to read on Abbott and Beto to see when? I think if Abbott does win re-election, I think he's forced out very shortly after, but I hope not.
Let me think. I keep seeing Beto in a really high position in government. Okay. The only thing that concerns me about Texas is how they're messing around with people's right to vote, because I think what they're doing is if you're applying to vote by mail, when you apply, it had to be a deadline, and you have to say whether you use your social security number or your driver's license number. And if you can't remember, you can't vote. If that goes to the Supreme Court, well, this court, who knows? But I think they'll say you can't restrict people's rights to vote. I think Beto is going to get people to turn out en masse, and if he doesn't win that election, then there's some monkey business going on. But even if Beto doesn't win, I still see him in a high-level government position.
I always thought it was Senate
taking
Ted Cruz's seat in 2 years.
And you know what? I pulled the 5 of Hearts, which means for Beto, it's a good omen, but it's bad for Abbott because there's going to be a lot coming about him, that he's buried, exposure of secrets, where he's getting his campaign funding and all of that. And if he does win, I agree, Kevin, he'll be taken out. I think people in Texas don't want him.
I think the issue with Texas is there's so much corruption with their voting. And I feel like Beto is going to get really close to it. But with all that corruption and, their cheating that they do, I don't know if he'll be able to make it over the finish line. I see him getting close. So.
I see a lot of money losses coming for Abbott.
Yeah.
A lot of loss around him. I don't know why he'd be taken out as governor, but I don't know. Beto's going to put up a really good fight.
I feel that there's some investigations coming out into Abbott, and I think that might
Mhm.
be why.
Exactly. I picked that up too.
I got that it's going to become clear to a lot of people in the future. There's going to be given a gift. I don't know that Beto's going to win, but it is later the people are going to be happy about it because some stuff's going to come out about money having to do with Abbott. I think that is going to, and justice will be, there will be justice. Maybe has to do with other people in politics, world leaders, things like that. He's maybe taken money from. And it may have to do with a woman. And I got the destroy card. So I think he may
Ooh.
get in, but I don't think, like you said, he'll last because they're going to find out some dirt on him.
I pulled the Four of Wands. I was asking about Beto, and that means a celebration. So it shows like he's going to win something big.
Yeah. He might later, it might be a different position. But
I had asked if Abbott was going to win, and I feel like as the energy is right now, I get the Sun card, which is like the biggest yes card, and him holding on. But I agree with Deann. I feel like it's something to do with money that's going to get him in trouble because then a big announcement's coming in for him that I don't think is going to be very good.
But I pulled the Moon. Aha.
Secret.
And maybe as it stands now, it looks like Abbott might win. But I think he's going to try to play dirty pool with Beto and get some stuff on him. It won't work. But I see a lot that, the Moon is the keeper of truth and intuition, but it also brings things to light hidden under the surface.
yeah.
And so I'm thinking that they're going to get a lot of stuff on Abbott, and it's going to be brought to the surface during this campaign.
Yeah, that's what I felt too. A lot of stuff's going to come out in the future about money and dirty dealings.
That's right.
Yeah. I hope so, CB. It'll definitely be closer to the elections. The energy will be a little bit easier to read. All right. I got quite a few more questions, but we've been on for almost an hour, so.
Don't seem like it.
I know. It's been fun.
It's been fun. Shall we do 2 or 3 more real quick?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if I want to get into this question too deep, but Patty G said quite a few readers are stating that Zelensky might not survive the war. I feel he's in a very dangerous situation, and I am a little scared for him, but I won't deep dive too much into that.
I don't. I pulled a 5 of spades, which is a coffin, but it means like loss of properties and all of that. That's what's going on in Ukraine. But, I think they're going to make sure that Zelensky is safe and he will fight to the death. But I don't see him dying right away. I see him living for a while, a long while. And he's going to be a hero. At the end of the day, I see him as a hero. And who is that guy that Putin put in jail?
Navalny.
Yeah.
I see him out of jail, and I see him holding some sort of office in Russia. And boy, he's going to do a lot of reform. So, and he's already criticizing this war. So, anyway, that's what I pick up.
Yeah, with Navalny though, I think I see him being released from jail, but that poison that Putin gave him really did a number on him. He feels very weak to me, and I'm sure he's barely fed, barely kept alive. What are you picking, Deann?
Well, I had read on him the other day, and I had gotten, I'll tell you what I got today, but I had read on him the other day with Sheila Angelfeather, and I had gotten that he is going to survive this. Yeah, he is at risk, but I got the 9 of Wands today. So yeah, he is, he's an ongoing battle. He may be wounded, he's fatigued, he's drained, but he's very courageous, and he's going to persevere. He got the 5 of Wands. So there is a lot of fighting and conflict. We know struggles. 7 of Cups. So there's a lot of, we don't know right now. But I did the pendulum, and we did get the Wheel of Fortune. So I think he's going to have some good luck as the outcome. And with the pendulum, I'm getting that he is going to. Let me just double check again. I think he's going to survive this. I think he's going to make it through.
That's what I see. I asked about Zelensky, and I pulled the King of Diamonds, and it means good tidings. It's like it's a letter. So that means that there's going to be unexpected money and financing and help coming to Zelensky. So, yay.
Wasn't that something when they wanted to give him a ride? He said, "I need ammunition, not a ride." When they
yes,
get him out
I
there.
love that.
What a brave thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Trump saying something like that? Never.
What about the old lady that had the 2 sunflower seeds and she walked into the Russians?
Oh, yeah.
And said, that was just, whoa.
Put these in your pocket so that something good will grow when you die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's some brave Ukrainians. They can't even hardly believe it. And Zelensky's made me cry with some of his speeches, just so touching.
You know, I think they were questioning his leadership, but he's proven himself to be a hero. And, you know, I think somebody said, I don't know if it was you, Kevin, or Linda, said he'll win a Nobel Peace Prize. And I believe
Linda
said that.
Yep, I think so too. Anyway.
And I think he will. And he deserves to.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. He's got the whole world on his side, pretty much.
He does.
Yes, Mimi Rose. All the prayers and white lights sent to him, he will be a hero. Putin will be a zero. Yes.
Putin is a zero.
Mm-hmm.
Poopkin. Okay, we got time for one more?
Yeah. Right.
I never say quit. That's my problem.
Somebody said in here, I won't click on it, but everyone's saying that Zelensky is acting like Churchill. Is Churchill giving Zelensky advice from the other side?
I don't know if Churchill's giving Zelensky advice from the other side, but, you know, I love when Churchill, his sense of humor was pretty good. But, you know, when he said, this was Britain's darkest hour, you know.
He was the prime minister during World War II, correct?
Yes, he was the prime minister of Great Britain. And when during the Blitz in German means lightning. So Blitzkrieg means lightning war. And the Germans were shelling London and really hitting Great Britain pretty bad. Hitler didn't invade, but if he would have, it might have changed the war. And they were wondering if the British Isle would survive the shelling. And boy, under Churchill's leadership, they did. And that's exactly the kind of person that Zelensky is.
Pendulum is saying that he's not getting advice from Churchill, but he definitely, I believe, is similar to him in that way.
Following a playbook. I heard a good story about Churchill. He could be very, I mean, he was still alive when I was little. I remember when he died, but he drank a lot. I think it was alcohol.
I was going to say, I thought he was a heavy drinker.
And so he was somewhere, and some lady said to him, "You're a drunk." And he said, "In the morning, I will be sober, but you'll still be ugly."
Yep.
I wasn't picking up Churchill directly helping Zelensky, but I feel that there is so much divine protection around him.
I wouldn't be surprised if they built a statue for him.
Oh, here's what I see in Russia. Just like when the Soviet Union crumbled, they were pulling down statues of Stalin and Lenin and all of that. I see anything that Putin has put up, they're going to tear down. They'll pull it down, especially in Ukraine. But you're right. I see statues all over of Zelensky. He's a light to a lot of people, and he's showing his leadership skills. On the other hand, Putin is just showing that he's a paranoid, power-hungry bully.
Wouldn't it be nice if all the men who tried to start war had to go fight in them? We'd have so much less war. I said if all the men who decided in power that decide to start wars, if they had to go and fight in them, we'd have a whole lot less war. But Zelensky is one who's willing to go and fight with his people. So that is what amazes me about him.
That's why he's a hero.
He is a hero.
Mimi Rose. Oh, Mimi, she's a nice lady.
Hi,
Archangel
Mimi.
Michael, Ukrainian patron saint, is protecting Zelensky. You've got that right.
They have a giant statue of Archangel Michael in Ukraine, and I definitely feel Michael's over there protecting.
Yeah, I've been praying for the angels to be around Ukraine to protect those people. And Linda G got a letter. I don't know if you've seen it, Mel. It was talking about how all the people that are sending light and love and prayers, how they really feel this is helping them because they're beating them. You know.
Oh, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. I have a client in California. I won't mention her name, but she is going to have to go through a heart transplant. And she's going in the hospital in a couple of weeks. She has to be on a balloon pump. And I talked to her the other day, really nice lady. And so everybody just please send healing energy to her. I'm sure she'll get a heart. I know she'll pull through it just fine, but also to her family to help, get them through it as well.
I will. I definitely will.
Her last name starts with an L, and that's all I'm going to say. But
God, universe, whatever you want to call it, they know.
Yes, exactly. So thank everybody for that. I'm going to keep plugging it on my show too, because she needs all the healing energy she can get.
Yes. And we're all sending a lot of light and love to Ukraine and to Russia, the Russian people.
Right.
Every day.
Yeah. Every day.
All right. Well, I'm going to, I think that was it for questions. I'm just going to say it again in case anybody missed it. I'm getting pretty close to 3,000 subscribers. I'll be giving away 2 free 30-minute readings once I do. Yeah, I have a couple collabs in the works. I'm on Sheila Angel Feather's show next Monday. I'll have my show on Tuesday. Next Thursday, I will be on Mel's channel, and we have Adam from Adam's Astrology joining us.
He was good.
And yeah. Sheila, let's do further collabs in the future. This was fun.
Yeah.
Maybe what we'll do is when you do my show, we'll have Deann, Kevin, and me on my show. How's that?
I love that. That would be fun. I'm enjoying this too. I'm so happy I got to meet you.
Oh, the same here. It's nice. You see people in the community, and it's really nice. Hey, Kevin, and it's nice to be able to meet people. Kevin, I got an email about you today. Was a person who got a reading from you, and they just talked about how wonderful the reading was. So I thought I'd pass.
Thank you.
All right. So everybody
I do the same thing, Kevin. If I can get my 1,000, I got 796. If I can get my 1,000, I'll do 3 personal readings too for free.
Well, Deann, I have to correct you. Not if, but when.
When.
Yes.
When.
It's going to come.
And it will be here soon. Yep.
Well, then when I do, I'll give 3 personal readings. I got some names in a thing and to draw for this month anyway.
You'll have it very soon. I remember telling Kevin when he first did my show, you're going to have it really soon. I think you had it within 4 or 5 days, right, Kevin?
Oh, after I did my collab with you, I had hit the 1,000 mark over very quickly after that video. Because I was at like 950 when I did my collab with Mel, the first one, and then from that first collab, I got up, I think, to over 2,000. So I more than doubled.
So, okay, Deann, how do they get in touch with you?
How do they get it's my email is Deann shieldmaidentarot@gmail.com. So Deann actually has an S in there. Deann's shieldmaidentarot@gmail.com. So they can get a hold of me there for a reading. And I just usually ask them to leave their name, their specific question, their birthday, and I'll get back a hold of them.
Okay.
Kevin, how they get a hold of you?
They can email me, kevinslovingvibration@gmail.com. I have it in my about section. I will get Deann, and I will get your email, and I will add it to the description box along with both of your links for your channel.
With
And I'll put your phone number in for your office if that's okay, Mel.
Yes, I do. Because with me, if you email, we get a backlog of emails. And I'm sorry, somebody complained that nobody got back to them, but we just get such a backlog of emails. So it's better to call my office at 847-590-5411 than to email, because I mean, sometimes I've got over, like, within a week's time, I get 200 or 300 emails.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so call my office.
Well,
I like the phone.
Yes.
No wonder you need the secretary. That's a lot to keep track of.
Busy guy.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Well, I want to thank you both so much for jumping on my channel with me. I had a really fun time. You're both always welcome on whenever you like. And I want to thank everybody who's watched, and make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to everybody.
This feels like old home week. I mean, Deann, it's like I've known you forever. And
I feel like that too. I was nervous about meeting you at first but I've always loved you when I watch you on there, and you got such a good sense of humor, and you crack me up when you do McConnell. And I thought, oh, I want to meet him. I was so excited. Then I thought you weren't going to come on because, something happened. No,
I was upstairs and I was like, oh my God. Then I was running downstairs and I couldn't find my phone. I'm like, oh, Gary, you're here. You sit over here. I've told my husband.
Well, I'm happy you came on. I'm happy you did.
Oh, I would never miss it.
It all worked out.
Yep. So, Kevin, we're next Thursday. My channel.
Yeah.
All right.
And we'll have Adam on.
All right, you all have a nice night. I'm going to go eat my dinner, my Greek food. And
sounds better than my bunless hamburger. Go to your house.
There you go.
Have a wonderful night, everyone. See y'all soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.